What's up, SuperViewers? I'm Brian Ellis Clark.
Richard Smith.
And this is SuperViewer, where we watch and review movies you're excited about. And I'm excited too. This is Race 3. Neither one of us has seen Race 1 or 2. Stars Salman Khan, Anil Kapoor, Bobby Deol, Daisy Shah, Shakib Saleem, Jacqueline Fernandez, and Freddie Daruwala.
Yes.
And really quickly first, what'd you think of the film? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
It was 3 hours. Okay, how long was it really?
I didn't tell him what it was before we got in. It was almost 3 hours.
I wasn't expecting Titanic length.
160 minutes, so 2 hours, 40 minutes.
Okay. It was okay, though.
When the movie started, when we got out, that was, that makes sense. But
they made it, pretty entertaining. It was an entertaining 2 hours and 40 minutes.
I think, how long is Avengers Infinity War? I think around there. It's around there. I'm coming from the future. Spoiler alert.
I'm gonna edit in oh no's down here.
Just, if you want, you could be like an action thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Subtitles are sometimes off, which is like, oh, that's weird. They're speaking English, but the subtitles is different. I've noticed that before. Is this your first Indian film?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
But this Indian film had really funny subtitles sometimes because they said "oh shit" 3 times and "shit" 1 time, and 2 times it said "oh no," and then 1 time when it was the men saying "oh shit," and then when it was the female lead Jacqueline Fernandez, it said "oh god." It's like, why don't you just say "shit" or have it censored with like S ... even though you hear shit. But I didn't understand why they just completely changed it, but that was funny. Let's get into it. What's the first thing you want to talk about?
Let's get into action.
Action?
In the very beginning, it had cut-itis.
Cut-itis, what's that for you?
Oh, well, it's just the trend in action movies where it's cut, camera over here, and then different fight over here. And it cuts from one to the other. I didn't know who was fighting sometimes, and I got confused. And, normally in fight scenes, you like better spatial relationships, It's a trend that's come up in action movies. I think I saw a YouTube video where someone was saying that the Bourne series actually had weird cuts like that, and that's the focus of the shot. I
will say the first action scene with Salman Khan, he did seem a little stiff. Like, it wasn't flowing as much. It got better later, but in that first scene where he, like, paraglided in, he seemed a little stiffer, just like, and some really quick motion.
That's how he walks. He walks a little stiff, but that's his posture. It's
the muscles forcing his shoulders.
That's not how it works.
They're just like, don't squish me. And then his back muscles are like, don't squish me.
It's not. No.
It's exactly
not how it works.
Science. For me, the action was really good. The only moment where I thought it was a little tense was that first Salman Khan scene where it wasn't flowing as much for me. But then it got ridiculous moments that are beyond, like, Fast and the Furious ridiculous. Fast and the Furious ridiculous. You're just like, holy shit, they're doing that. That's awesome. But they make sense that they're doing it.
They make some sense.
In this, my favorite scene was all of a sudden he gets out of, like, his car in the forest, and then a semi-tractor trailer comes out of nowhere, and he, like, hooks his arm onto it, which was great anyway. It's all out of left field, but you never saw that truck, so you didn't know it would become. And then when they run off a cliff and just explode out with paragliders, changing fully clothed in a millisecond, and then the truck just falls down into the forest to the only lake. They bullseyed into a lake.
They wanted, all these explosions. Why didn't they have that truck explode too? They wanted to land in a lake. There was a single lake.
There was a moment he laughed at where a motorcycle smashes into the roof of a shed and just goes...
No, and then also,
and the motorcycle lands in the water though, so it's not the motorcycle exploding.
If I can just give one more thing on the action, it got better towards the end. It had less of the cut-itis, as I'm saying. A lot more of the fight scenes was just one-on-one.
Yeah,
and it wasn't as disorienting, and it's just more of an Easter egg for me while watching. Good fight scenes, you know, and it had good fight scenes.
Yeah, it had really, and some of the moments were so ridiculous that it was just funny. We would laugh. So the next topic we'll talk about is story. What did you think of the story as a whole?
Deception after deception after deception. I was waiting for when...
There were like 4 twists at least.
Yeah, I was waiting for when Salman Khan's character twist was going to come, and they were all just really... I don't want to Spoilers. Okay, Salman Khan's... Salman Khan's... deception comes at the end. It was like the king deception. It was pretty cool, because you know he's probably the main good guy in the entire film.
Yeah.
And he got them. It was really cool.
Never did anything bad.
Yeah, no, not really.
It is a really long movie, so there were more twists. I expected to stop at 2 because there was the twist of the girl being the same as the like bodyguard guy, which I called. I was like, the girl he's bringing is the girl Salman was in love with.
Yeah.
And then that happened. That was funny. Him knowing that the twins hired her and them double crossing the twins.
Right.
But then
there's
not just
another
that.
twist.
The security guard guy was the real guy who hired him, and he's in love with the woman who's the twin, the female twin. And then the last twist, which I also called early, was that the father was really the bad guy all along. And he actually was smuggling shit.
You did call that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I called it like 3 or 4 minutes beforehand. I was like, one more prediction. Well, he's a bad guy. He was smuggling. He's not above the law.
Well, Yash, you know, he also had the twist where she kind of relayed the 3 twists that he had, where it was like 3 deceptions that he had. It was like really good, but then he even had another one later.
He was the son.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, exactly. So thing after thing after thing. It's eventually it gets repetitive. It's like things aren't what we know. Things aren't as they seem. Something's gonna happen. Yeah. Stuff's gonna turn again. Stuff's gonna turn again.
I did like that the only twist that invalidated a previous twist was the fact that Yash convinced him that the twins hired her.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they were all just soap opera-y.
No.
I'm your twin brother. I'm not really your twin brother. I'm your father.
Right.
I'm not really your father. I'm your son traveling through time. It wasn't like, wait, those first 2 twists are pointless. It actually made sense. Like his strategy was good.
It was like, your mother actually was with my brother who I killed, and it wasn't
not really his brother. I thought early on, but she said a distant relative who treated him like a brother.
Okay.
So that's why early on he only called Salman Khan's character cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And then next, what did you think of all the acting? Any bad actors in there?
I'm really soft on acting. You know what I mean? I don't like... If someone has really good acting, I'm able to like acknowledge it and find it and see it good. I thought their acting in this movie was good. Yeah. I just never judge acting too harshly. I don't know, I'm a huge wrestling fan, so that might be part of it.
You wouldn't be able to love it if you were like, bad actor!
But, no, the acting was good. It was my first time experiencing those actors, you know?
Yeah, I like the acting. Yeah, no complaints here. I was excited to see Anil Kapoor in a big thing. Because I've only seen him in movie-wise in Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. And besides that, before this movie, I've just seen him in like trailers or songs and stuff. So I loved seeing him in a bigger role.
Mm-hmm.
Finally,
well, if I could say one thing about the acting, just slight overacting once in a while.
By whom?
This might just across the board. Slight overacting across the board. It was like a blockbuster movie. It was a huge production movie, and they were like playing it up, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, and then the final thing is the music. Halfway through, you asked if the main characters were known for singing, I think during their first song, I Found Love.
Yeah.
Which I responded, like, no, it's just more of a... Songs can be more prevalent in Indian movies. They're not always, but this one seemed much more integrated into the story than like Vivagam, which I think had one song right in the beginning, which was just some straight music video, and then all the others were montages. It was more like Padmavat, which you're not getting any of this,
Nope.
but you might, where the songs made sense for the story, and they were being sung by characters in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what do you think about the music?
So I normally hate musicals. Like
Like a Pitch Perfect type of musical?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah. Like
How
you
dare
normally
you,
could
sir.
you could not drag me to a musical or to like a musical play.
Have you seen
And
Pitch
then-
Perfect?
Yeah, I have. I mean,
Now we're not friends.
it was just so corny. I wanted to like keel over and die from. I
But
normally
the
love
first
corny.
musical number ends with a vomit shoot. She just goes. Bleh.
Anyways, so I normally can't stand it, but because also there's freaking High School Musical when I grew up, and that was literally follow the status quo and look at our stupid high school relationship, and like I wanted to shoot
status
myself.
quo, not status quo.
I said status quo. That's what I said.
You'll be editing this later.
The music in this movie, one, I like the themes a lot better. They were just more about core themes about love, and there was there's one song where it's like, I'm back, and that was the song. Like, first I was tolerating the music, and then I was like, it actually sounds okay.
Yeah.
And I got with it.
I will say my favorite song in the whole thing, I think, is like, I Found Love was very nice, but when he returns and it's all dark and like moody and everyone's like singing,
like, oh shit.
It's like that's my favorite one that happened in the whole thing. On the terms of 3D, because we actually saw this movie in 3D, was it worth it? Did it add anything? For me, I think there were like two shots where I really noticed. One was when they kicked straight at camera. I was like, oh. Because they were knocking down like a hole they had cut into a wall, and the woman like just whoosh, right at the camera. So I was like, oh. But other than that,
The 3D. Jacqueline Fernandez. The 3D helped me just get really smitten with Jacqueline Fernandez. That's what it did. Dude, I mean...
you're crushing now, aren't you?
I crush...
He's a sweetheart. He's not a dirty boy.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, yeah. I'm not a dirty boy. So,
Give me kisses. I'm a dirty boy.
You're weird. Get out of my house. No, the 3D, there were a couple shots that actually used it. I mean, it wasn't integral to the movie at all. It wasn't important to the story, it wasn't important to the movie. So, another thing that I want to add, they did a really good job of distributing screen time between all the characters.
Except in the final action scene, the female twin was like nowhere to be seen. There's a moment where a car comes over to save the twin brother. I was like, it's the twin sister! This is her moment! And no, it was Salman. And then she showed up and they had to be like, so maybe it was a scheduling thing, but I literally said, because it was a long sequence, like 2 times, like, where is the sister?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Unlike Infinity Wars, they distributed time among all the characters.
Okay, that's part 1 of a 2-part movie. Dude. That's part 1 of a 2-part movie. Cap is going to have a great amount of time in the second one. They've even said it. And Hawkeye's coming back and Emmett's coming back. So you just shut your man.
When you
There's
think about
36, 40 characters.
when you think about it, there's 7 main characters, and they had 2 hours and 40 minutes to distribute the time between all of them very well.
In this one,
they did a really good job dedicating time to all of them. I felt like 2 hours and 40 minutes, even though I wasn't expecting it. They did a good job of just making it an enjoyable 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's hard to do. That's a long time.
And the songs were long. I was expecting you to get bored with them.
They were full songs.
But they worked. Last thing before we close out, favorite part of the movie. Favorite moment.
Let's see. So he's fighting like what? So throughout the movie, you don't see very much of him. I forgot his name, but he's like the main cocaine smuggler. And then Salman Khan, how he gets rid of him. Undercar, moves the car.
Yes, Rana.
You're done, son.
He like got hit underneath a vehicle, took a machine gun, started shooting. I was like, I like the starting to shoot. Like, he's already shooting. He's not going to aim and then shoot. And then Salman just takes a large-ass truck or whatever. I'm sure you know the type of vehicle. He just goes...
Yeah.
And I literally yelled out, glad they left that in neutral.
It's true. It wasn't neutral. It was just saying they were neutral. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite, that was a great moment. I love that moment. My favorite moment is still and will always be the millisecond change of outfit into the
yeah, that's true.
Or the flying squirrel suits. It has the truck runs off a cliff into a lake. That was amazing.
Right. It's, you know, there's like American over-the-top action. This was also over-the-top action, but it was a different kind of over-the-top action. Yeah. It was like charismatically over-the-top. Does that make sense?
They winked at the camera at least 2 times.
Did they?
Like straight up, yeah.
Literally?
When Salman talks about how he switched out the drive, which was another twist that we forgot, he switches out the drive and literally looks at camera and goes...
Yeah, that was cool. You know, it was done tastefully.
Still thumbs up?
Yeah, thumbs up.
This is good.
It was a fun
first 2.
2 hours and 40 minutes. I didn't know it was going to be It was fun. It was great. Yeah.
Are you still up to do Sanju, which was the original film we talked about?
So what I know of is soju, which is a Korean alcoholic drink. Okay. And if we can go and get soju
before watching Sanju.
Okay.
Okay.
What? Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we'll be back together to review Sanju in like a week or 2. We'll see. I'll be at VidCon while you're editing. We'll talk about the edit or whatever. But yeah, cool beans. Welcome, Richard.
Let's see if we can tease our audience real quick. What do you look forward to? What's the one big thing you look forward to at VidCon?
Oh, seeing Philip DeFranco again.
Okay.
And also checking out what industry is, because I'm going like first class. And I'm just going to be like, hey, everyone's got much bigger incomes than me. You all have big products that have been funded. I'm just up here because I paid a little extra. What's up? Hi.
I can be your friend. What's up?
Yeah, I can be your friend. I can do dirty things for you if you like me, because you rich. I mean, look at that manicure. You got pure gold. That's not gold nail polish. That's pure gold. It's falling off.
You just turned into an Adam Sandler character. Well, man, I know you'll have a fun time at VidCon.
Oh, yeah.
Stay safe. That was a closing clap. That was good.
Thank you, SuperViewers. Put the next suggestion down below, and remember, don't stop.
We're drinking soju and watching Sanju next time.
You're a hero, Brian. Don't interrupt me ever. Okay, I was making a video to somebody on Twitter, to Brian.
It's still recording. Stop. Don't.